Do you guys peep the hustle? The 5 figures, companies, corporations.
Or 6, I don't mind. I can do
it'll be worth it. It'll be worth the money spent. So, which brings us to the other unique thing that was just on showcase here, right? We just talked about the creative, but did you guys see the business mind interwoven in with the creative? I'm telling you, this lady is serious stuff. Serious stuff. Now, before we kind of go ahead, I wanted to also talk about the resilience of our guest today. Unfortunately, we had this scheduled and we actually had to push it back because both her and I were experiencing some things that were dear and personal to us. And I'm not going to get into that right now unless she does. But once again, I'm just going to say that, we are praying for you and your family.
Thank you. And I don't mind sharing. Recently, my grandmother passed away. She was one of the Sapelo 7. If you don't know, I highly recommend looking it up because the cultural history there is very fascinating. But I take every opportunity to mention my grandmother when I can because she was an amazing spirit. Like I said, she was 93 years old. She was on a day trip, one of many. She was a woman full of life. She was very proud of what I'm doing. She was a lifelong teacher, and I feel like she would be so proud to see me up here. So I speak on her every chance I get. And, but yeah, I'm very happy to have had her as my great-grandmother.
Cool. And what's her name?
Her name was Carlotta.
Carlotta.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my great-great-grandmother. But she was my children's great-great-grandmother, so she was a 5th generation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, she's with the ancestors, and I'm sure will be a great contributor, to you in spirit as she was.
Absolutely.
When she was here. So, all right. So we're going to kind of move on, talk about some of the things in the world of digital marketing and creative strategies for revenue generation and, just some personal reflections on your success and creativity. So one of the first things, I was actually excited for you recently because I saw that you went viral on something. What happened there? Tell us about that.
Okay, so I already had a pretty large following on TikTok. I have about 217,000 followers on TikTok, and I gained that following through my series, Surviving Poverty, and it's about making money and finding ways to make money from no money. As you know, that was my skill set. If I had $0, I was going to try to figure out how to add some money to that. And I just taught people the different things that I did, and I went viral doing that. But I decided that I wanted to kind of shift my niche away from just teaching people how to make money because I realized that there's also a lot of fun, power, and money to be found in just being relatable and interesting. And I kind of had this relationship with social media where I felt like I always had to be useful before I was willing to create content. It was kind of stifling me. So I deleted all of my viral content prior to this moment and decided I was going to take a shift and I was going to start showing more of my quirky mindset. And one of those things I did was I created a whole family tree of American cities. So I have this feeling that certain cities are like related. So I say that Houston is our little sister, Washington D.C. is our bougie auntie, and I've been saying this for years. It's always an ongoing joke, but I decided to make a video about it. And right now it's at like 3.5 million views on Instagram. It got shared on Shade Room. It got shared by Lil Duval. It just became this huge thing. So now that's kind of like my niche unintentionally.
Right.
But it was really fun because it did get to showcase my more creative side, and it was just.
And what's crazy, it makes sense when you kind of look at it. I feel like Houston and Charlotte are like the little brother and sisters.
Yeah.
And DC was kind of, DC is the bougie, the bougie aunt.
That's what I think.
So creatively that is something. So tell us, what are some of the hottest, latest digital trends that's happening right now?
I would say there's a belief that there has to be some sort of trend happening to go viral, or I feel like social media has been very consistent. You either have to be entertaining